Welcome back to Power Play. Well, Laurie Pinard is a former political staffer here on Parliament Hill, and she was battling mental illness. She's recovered, and she's representing the Mental Health Awareness Week campaign across the country right now, and she joins me here in the foyer of the House of Commons. Politics. You've worked in an awful lot of political realms. Tell us your story, like how you were diagnosed and what the consequences were from that.
Okay, thanks, Don. Thank you very much for being here, having me on. I was in politics for probably around 15 years or so. I worked in provincial politics with the Mike Harris people and Ernie Eves, former boss. And eventually when I moved back to Ottawa, came up, worked on the Hill for a number of MPs in opposition, and then of course when we sat in government. So I do have a little bit of experience in that regard. I've battled mental illness for over 20 years, and I was terrified of telling people my story. I did not want anybody in the world, and I didn't want to admit to myself that I had a problem. And of course, working in politics, there's a little bit of stress involved.
A lot of stress, yes.
And so eventually, unfortunately, due to the stigma, because I didn't reach out for help, in 2009, I completely fell, I faltered, I buckled, and I got very, very ill.
Now, was there a way for the government to put a safety net out and catch you and help you and keep your job? Because I guess you eventually lost everything, right?
I certainly did. I lost everything. I lost my job, my career, my car, my money, where I was living. I ended up in numerous hospitalizations. But there are resources that are available to people. The thing is that due to stigma, I did not want to reach out. I did not want to get help.
So had you identified the need for help, was the safety net there to catch you?
I think that there are programs and services that are available to people. I'm not saying that it's the be-all, end-all. There's lots of work that needs to be done, absolutely. That's another reason why I'm here, because I'm here to raise awareness that we need more resources out there. But there are resources that are available, Don. You just have to be strong enough and have the courage to get to them.
If you don't mind me asking, how would that have manifested itself on the workplace? How could a coworker have spotted that you were suffering from this bipolar?
Well, I was really adept at being able to dodge those kinds of questions. When people would ask me what was up, what was wrong, I always had some kind of answer that wasn't the truth, so that I could cover for just the fact that I was afraid to tell people what was really wrong with me. I was so afraid. I was just traumatized by the stigma.
What are the misperceptions that you see out there from people battling mental illness? What should people know about this campaign?
I don't know about specific misperceptions, but what I can say is that we really need education on everyone's part. Government, employers, and employees. I mean, I had to learn how to live a completely different life. And educating myself was part of my learning, part of coming along the way. I think that people in Canada really need that type of education, and being able to have a dialogue with Canadians is so important, because I suffer from bipolar disorder. And there are things that I can do, there are things that I can't do, things that I've learned to live with, but it doesn't mean that I'm not going to be good at a job. It doesn't mean that I can't participate in life fully. So education is a big, big key here, Don.
There's the awareness. And Laurie Pinard, very good to have you on the show, and congratulations for coming out and being the face of mental illness on this campaign. Very worthwhile cause.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for Power Play. You're all caught up from Parliament Hill. We'll be back here live at 5 p.m. Eastern, and a special re-showing at 8 o'clock where we'll be covering the Justin Trudeau lunch. I hope you can join us for both shows tomorrow. Until then, thanks again for watching. I'm Don Martin. Good night.